If you are somebody that's thinking about building, growing, scaling Facebook ad campaigns to over $1,000 a day, doing it profitably so that for every dollar you spend, you get back 3 to 15 times return on ad spend, then this video over here is going to be one of the most important videos you're ever going to watch. Hey everybody, this is Peng Joon here, and today I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes to an actual campaign that is happening right now. As you guys can see right now, it's the 22nd of March, and I'm in one of my ad accounts where we spend easily well over 6 figures every single month. We're 3 weeks into this month right now, and I'm going to be showing you actual numbers, actual data, behind the scenes to what's required of you if you want to be able to scale Facebook ad campaign to sell your products, programs, as well as services. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be showing you one campaign so that we're not looking at like 15 different campaigns. Let's just focus in on one right now. Let me just kind of move my picture to the right hand side. The campaign that I'm going to be showing you is a super simple $7 offer that I just launched recently. It's a campaign called Old School New Strategy. It's a $7 offer. Okay, and I think that anyone, including you watching this video right now, chances are you could probably create a $7 offer. Wouldn't you agree? You can see that this month over here for this specific campaign, I'm going to walk you through my numbers, exactly what it is, what it means. But you can see that we spent about $38,000 on this campaign, and I'm going to be talking about the profitability, the returns, scaling it, and what it is, the numbers that you need to know if you want to scale a campaign profitably. So the first thing, before talking about ads, before talking about targeting, the most important number that you must know is this number over here, which is basically your cost per result. Now, what is a result? It could be a lead, it could be a webinar registrant, it could be a sale, it could be an appointment for a phone call, whatever that result might be for your business model. In most cases, it's usually a sale, right? So in this case here, it is a sale, and the example that I'm going to be showing you, I never believed in just teaching theory. I have a problem with theory. I think far too many people are teaching theory. I'm going to be showing you actual numbers, sites, as well as what we did in order to make this happen. Okay, so as you can see here, this campaign that we spent $900 on, the cost to acquire a customer, cost per purchase, is $135. Now, at first glance, a lot of people who might not understand would say, wait a second, Peng Joon, I thought you told me that your offer is a $7 offer. Paying $135 to acquire a $7 offer seems stupid. Like, why would you do that? Well, bear with me for a second. This is where I want to be able to walk you through how this entire process looks like. Because once you understand this process, you're going to have your aha moment and understand why it's set up this way. Okay, so if I were to go to the website, you'll see that this is the website. It's Old School New Strategy. And it is an offer that I initially toyed around with, which is basically an event for just $7. I know, it's absolutely insane. I wanted to test it out to see if it converts, and it may not make sense at all, but I was really shocked to see what the results are. So if you want to be able to see what happens at the end, be sure to watch till the end of the video so that you'll be able to see what it takes to scale a campaign profitably to over $1,000 every single day. So basically, step number one is a super low ticket offer at $7. Now, let's take a look at the entire campaign structure, right? The entire campaign structure is really just offer, one-time offer number one, which is what OTU stands for, which is like an upsell. It's kind of like going to McDonald's where they're asking you, do you like fries with that, right? Upgrade number one, upgrade number two, order confirmation, right? So it's very typical sales process, okay? So if you want to be able to scale, the first number you must know, you must be able to tell is what is your cost to acquire a customer based on your different campaigns. Okay, so for example, this campaign here is $135, $252, $185, some of it zero just yet, right? This is $146, spent about $4,600 on this. And so far in this month, we are 22 days in, and for this campaign alone, we've spent about $38,000, okay, for just this campaign, Old School New Strategy. So let's head over to the whiteboard for a second to show you what are the different things that we need to be tracking if you want to be able to grow and scale any ad campaign, okay? So first things first, let's list down the sales process. Super simple sales process, $7 upfront. So this is the front end offer, right? And then you have upsell number 1, offer number 2, and then after that, this is where they check out. Okay, so this is the members area. Okay, so, or sometimes known as the thank you page. So remember, the first thing that we must know is how much does it cost to acquire a customer, or a cost per result. In this case here, it's a sale. Now, you watching this, you could be totally new to this, but the first thing that you must be able to do in order to track that number is to be able to install a pixel. Now, if you don't know what a pixel is and how to install it, at the end of this video, first of all, I'm going to put up a recommended video. At the end of the video, be sure to watch that video on how to install your pixel so they can start tracking your numbers, right? So now, what's going to happen is I have different ads running to this sales process. So you'll notice that there are many campaigns in there. Now, depending on the ad, the creative, the targeting, the country, the retargeting, based on all these different factors, they might all have a different number associated to acquiring a customer, as you guys saw earlier, right? So, for example, you saw one campaign that was $140, another one that was $220, another one that's $250, another one that's like $180. So all these numbers would vary depending on all those factors, depending on your image, your messaging, how interesting it is, how engaging it is, the thumbnail, what I say, who I'm targeting, the countries, right? So all these different factors will determine the different costs to acquire a customer. And now, because I'm paying $250 to acquire a $7 customer, you might be saying, but Peng Joon, that seems stupid. So why do you pay $250 to acquire a $7 sale? This is where number 2 comes in, right? Number 2, the second thing to understand if you want to be able to scale is what happens over here. Now, you might have heard it before, but the money is always in the back end, right? This is what marketers say all the time. Now, this next structure over here is the upsell, right? Now, what makes a good upsell? What makes a good upsell is just the next thing that your audience need because of a new problem that arises as a result of solving the old one. A very common question people say is, so what's a good upsell then? If I want to increase how much a customer is worth? Well, what your offer should be is by you thinking about, if I help my audience do this specific thing, what is the next problem that they face? Now, whatever that next problem is that they face, that should be your upsell, right? So think about it as, let's say if I want to be able to teach people how to launch a e-commerce store, okay? So that's the initial problem. The initial problem is I don't know how to launch an e-commerce store. I don't know what to sell online. So perhaps the first offer could be how to source and launch your first offer online. I'll show you how to find a great product, how to source from China, right? Get it at the right price, right? That could be the first one. And then maybe the next problem will be, okay, if after I know how to source this thing and I built up my e-com store, next problem would be, well, how do I drive traffic? So your next offer, right, that's in your funnel should be the next problem that they face, or in one way, shape, or form, help them go through the experience better, quicker, faster, in one way, shape, or form. So perhaps the next problem would be, well, let me show you how to drive traffic. After that, perhaps, what's the next problem as a direct result of understanding how to drive traffic? The next problem of that would be, well, I'm starting to make some sales, but fulfilling the requests every single day from my e-com store, it's killing me. I have no life now with fulfilling the result of the sales that's coming every single day. So the next upsell would be, how do I automate and streamline my store better, right? Understand that in business and entrepreneurship, it is a never-ending string of problems, right? There's always that problem when it comes to making a first sale. There's the problem of going from the first sale to $1,000, $1,000, $10,000 to $100,000, right? The problems that a person faces from $100,000 to $1 million to $10 million are totally different set of problems, right? So after automation, what the problem will be? Perhaps it's now I'm starting to make money and I want to minimize the amount of taxes that I make, that I'm supposed to pay the government. And how do I do it legally, right? So what makes a good upsell is the next problem that they face. So what you're going to do is, if you want to model this entire campaign, you can model what I do, right? Take a look at Old School News Strategy. It's a $7 offer. super low ticket, makes it a no-brainer. Like, you know what? It's a $7 offer for a 3-day event. You can create an absolute no-brainer to get people in first, right? Marketing terminology is sometimes known as a tripwire. So this is kind of like going back to the basics. Sometimes I feel that people have overcomplicated it, right? It's super low barrier to entry, low risk, low price point. Upsells, which helps your audience based on the next problem that they face now that you help them solve the initial problem. Okay, you're gonna come up with 2 upsells, and the most important thing now is you must be able to know how much is an average customer worth, sometimes known as average cart value. Okay, and your goal here is to do 2 things the entire time: to increase how much a customer is worth, average cart value, and to decrease how much it costs to acquire a customer. The name of the game when it comes to scaling is just these 2 things. Now the question is, how do you track how much an average customer worth is worth? So this is where the software that you utilize to build your funnel should tell you. The one that I use is ClickFunnels. If you want to be able to utilize the same funnel builder that I use, be sure to check the links in the description below. I've prepared a few different templates for you as well, so that you can start building this up. But the upsells, what is it for? Understanding how to pitch, present, close, and create a good, compelling offer. The whole purpose of that is to increase how much an average customer is worth to you, or rather average cart value. And at the same time, the name of the game is also to decrease how much it's costing you to acquire a customer. Okay? So once you do that, once you have an initial gauge, and now you're sending traffic in, based on the platform, it should tell you a rough number. Okay? It should tell you that based on this initial number, your average cart value is this specific number. So let's say you're spending money and let's say it's $400. Okay, so with over here, you have your upsells, right? And because of your upsells, a percentage of people that is going to be serious is going to want to take you up on those offers. So 10 to 25% if you have a good converting offer. So for me personally, I have a $97 offer here and a recurring of $897 a year. Okay, so I've got a recurring subscription, both monthly and yearly. And the average cart value on the front end is approximately $500 plus for me, just on the front end. This doesn't take into account the fact that I'm building a list, doesn't take into account the fact that they could be buying more of my future products, my high ticket products in future. Okay, so for that reason, I know that for every dollar that I put in, I could be making 1 to 3x returns on whenever a person goes through this funnel. You could be saying, well, Peng Joon, that sounds great, but what if initially I don't get $500 average cart value, but it's $100, meaning I could be paying $200 to acquire a customer, but a customer is only worth $100. So what should I do? Okay, so this is where your scaling comes in next. Okay, scaling strategies. Number 2, once you have your pixel installed, to drive down your cost to acquire a customer, right? To drive it down, this is when you need to have retargeting in place. Now, what is retargeting? It's basically targeting people who landed on this page, but not this page. If they landed on this page, but not this page, what does it tell you? It tells you that they didn't buy this, right? Landed on this, but not this. So what you need to do is you need to create a campaign called a retargeting campaign. You probably noticed this. Very often, have you noticed that when you land on an e-commerce store and when you left that page, literally within 30 seconds, you see an ad from that company or that store that you were on now, and they seem to be following you everywhere, no matter where you go? That's just retargeting. Now, the money is always in retargeting, not targeting. So the next thing you want to do in order to drive down these numbers over here is to have retargeting campaigns. So this is where you want to target the person with an ad that visited this page but not this page. Now again, if you want to be able to understand how to do this well, be sure to watch my recommended video that I'm going to put in the link description below as well as the video after this, if you want to be able to retarget audiences well. In fact, binge watch my entire Facebook playlist if you want to see it from a tactical perspective, how to do it inside the Facebook Ads Manager. So what should your ad sound like this time? This could be a video, okay? It doesn't need to be a fancy one. could be shot from your phone. This could be an image. And all you're going to be doing is you are going to create an ad for these different scenarios. The first one would be visited your page but didn't buy. So what would my ad say? I would say, come from the angle of, hey, this is Peng Joon here, and I noticed you visit my page, old school new strategy, but somehow you didn't register. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be doing an event like this long term, and I wanted to make sure you didn't miss out. So if you want to join us for this upcoming event, be sure to get yourself registered, right? So it's like kind of reminder. Again, this could be a video, this could be an image. I usually use both so that I can compare and split test. But because this ad is shown to a really small group of audience, this is where my cost is going to be very low. I'm not targeting millions, I'm targeting a very small audience. In other words, retargeting has got two main types, okay? So the first one is, did you forget something? Make sure to join us, right? I'm reminding them. The second method of retargeting is by utilizing case studies or testimonials. So this is the only time a testimonial type of ad would be effective. The common mistake that people make is they create a testimonial type of video and then they run it to like millions of people only to wonder why it's not effective. A testimonial ad or case study is only good over here. Okay, so if you want to see this retargeting ad campaign, well, let's take a look and see how that might look like. For example, over here, going back to my screen right now, you will see that, for example, this retargeting campaign at $135 is about half of targeting the world audience, and that could be hot. So now, if I were to look at this, let's take a look at some of the ads. Okay, so notice it says, what does it say? It says visited but did not purchase. That's what I'm talking about. So like this ad over here, this is when I have testimonial based ads. That's one, right? So these are testimonials from different people that have or worked with me or trained with me. And at the same time, let's take a look at another different campaign. So for example, this ad over here that my team did, let's take a look at the actual ad and copy itself. Okay, take a look at this, right? So this is an image-based ad that was based upon what I said in the video. But notice the languaging. The languaging, what is it? This is coming from the first angle, right? Which is basically, why didn't you register? Be sure to join us if you want to be able to join us for the next event. Peng Joon here. Perhaps you didn't have the time, but hey, I'll make you sure that you didn't miss out, right? It's happening soon, right? I don't want you to miss out, right? Notice it's a reminder. I really don't want you to miss out on this. Click on this link below, and I'll see you soon. So this is retargeting, and the whole purpose of this, you will see, is to be able to remind people to get back into the funnel. So this is where you'll notice that the cost to acquire a customer is actually lower. So that's the second thing you want to be doing if you want to be able to further decrease the cost of acquiring a customer. Okay, either by reminding them of the step or by having some sort of case studies or testimonials. And we have hundreds of different case studies and testimonials, and we just rotate them and overwhelm our audience with so much social proof that they say, hey, you know what? Surely, there must be something about this product offer or training or program that makes sense, right? So this is where we are now working on this and this at the same time. Then, number 3, if you want to be able to scale, this is when you will be able to utilize Facebook scaling strategies via utilizing their look-alike audiences. Now, initially, when you have a small sample size, and usually Facebook requires at a very minimum 20 conversions. So in this case, a conversion is a sale. And whenever you get a buyer, just think about it as like if you put gold in, you get gold out. You put crap in, you put crap out, right? So this is where if you are putting in, you're building up and getting the pixel to mature. Whenever this pixel matures over time and you get a larger and larger sample size, Facebook algorithm is able to go out there and see, based on the buyers that you have initially, let me look for more similar type of audiences, and that's what I call look-alike audiences for you, because understand that Facebook wants you to make money. Facebook wants you to get hooked. It's a drug that they want you on so that you keep going back for more, right? It's like you take the first hit and then it's like damn, I want more of this, right? And that's what keeps you keep going back to Facebook. But they can only keep you hooked if you are telling them what it is that you want. The only way you tell them what it is that you want is by installing your pixel and by creating a look-alike audience. Now, in this video over here, I want to keep it to high-level strategic rather than the tactical side of things. Same thing here, if you want to be able to create look-alike audiences, be sure to watch my recommended video. Now, before I talk about how you can take things to a whole new level, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to smash the like button. It does help this channel out so that YouTube recommends this video to more people who want to be able to understand this in depth. Let me know in the comments. One of the things you might notice is we pick 1 to 3 random winners every single video where we give away our $1,000 course. So if you want to be able to scale Facebook ads profitably, all you gotta do is leave a comment below by saying scale Facebook ads, and we are going to be selecting 1 to 3 different winners. And if you want to be able to get more videos just like this one, to get the latest updates when it comes to Facebook ads, social media, and building up sales processes profitably by utilizing and seeing real life actual data, not theory, then be sure to smash the subscribe button as well. Switch on the bell notification. And if you truly want to get really good at this and take things to a whole new level, then all you gotta do is be sure to binge watch my entire Facebook playlist that is going to appear in front of your screen right now in 5, 4, 3, 2.